Hey, bless up, fam. How y'all doing today? I hope that you all are doing mighty well today. Today is a beautiful day. It's a little kind of sticky today. Very humid. But nevertheless, it's still beautiful and still blessed and still here. If you are here and you are able to see and hear me, or even to read the screen, the words that are on the screen, hopefully it will translate it well through my southern dialect. Hit the like button if you're able to be here, because we didn't have to be here. We didn't have to be here at all. It's a blessing to be amongst the living. No matter what we're going through, we have another opportunity to make a change. But right now, it is summertime. We got kids at home. It reminds me of growing up as a child. And as a child, I can remember the summertime. In the beginning, it was a lot of fun. All the kids were out of school, didn't have to get up early in the morning. Even though for some reason I still got up early in the morning. For some reason I got up. And I would try to pack my day full of nothing but fun activities. I grew up the only child. In my younger years, I had to figure it out by myself. But as I got a little bit older, I had a bicycle and I would ride it. And sometimes people call me the bicycle boy, because I would ride my bicycle all the way from one end to the town to the other. Back in the days where you really didn't call nobody, because I was a country boy. I got up early. Most people were still in the bed. But I figured by the time I ride to a certain side of town, because I grew up in a small town, I could be to one side to the other side of that town, and I knew who lived on that side of town. I had cousins all over the city, so I would go over to a cousin's house. Never a friend, because the rule was you had to get permission to go over to a friend's house. So family was green light. If I said I was going over to auntie such and such house, or grandma such and such, or cousin such and such, I had the green light. My mom, she worked, she went to school, and my grandmother, my great grandmother, they all took care of me. So I would go from house to house. And what reminds me of the summertime is there were times when I went to certain people's houses, and depending on which cousin house I went to, they had friends. And some of their friends was quite different. Like I would go to one cousin house, they had a set of friends. Then I go to another cousin house, they had a set of friends. And a lot of times it wasn't your cousin that got you in trouble. It was the cousins of the friends. I've had some stories, and I had some times where I've been doing something I ain't had no business doing because of my cousin's friend, through associate, I know him, but I don't know him. And for some reason, when no parents around, it seems like that's the time where kids want to open up drawers that they normally wouldn't open up, like chest drawers or closet doors. They ain't had no business opening up. For some reason, during the summertime, they'll go places they ain't have no business going. Sneak around houses they ain't have no business. Getting into things we ain't have no business. It's just something about having the freedom of having a choice. Which leads me back to now. I remember some few words that played in my head that my mama used to say. And you can always tell when you're doing something you ain't got no business doing. And they could too. They might didn't know what you were doing, but they knew you was up to something. And I had these few words that my mom would tell me that I tell myself in my brain millions and millions of times over the years. Because sometimes, even as adults, when we ain't got nothing to do, or we busy, having this idle time, not being productive, we got to be mindful. My mom used to say, get in the house. Wait a minute, let me stop. Let me look at the camera real closely. Face it. Get in the house. When my mama say get in the house, I know that meant maybe one or two things. Either she heard something, or she just seen something that I did that I ain't had no business doing. Or she just had a feeling. You know, moms had that instinct. So does wives. Same thing goes for wives. They had an instinct about there's something you doing that you ain't got no business doing. And you know, sometimes in life we have to tell ourselves, get in the house. You know you going around doing something you ain't got no business. Tell yourself to get in the house. Go back home. That's what that meant. When my mom said get in the house, she mean go back home. Reset. You know what you've been taught. You know the fundamental truths of life. You know what to do. Don't be out here acting like you don't have no home training. Have y'all ever heard that? Don't be out here acting like you ain't got no home training. Get in the house. You know, in our life, we know what we need to do. We got goals, we got dreams, we got projects we working on, and we know it. And we get distracted, right? We get to cutting up, as we say in the South. Getting to acting like a fool. And you better be able to tell yourself, because now you're an adult, now you're grown. And for you kids that may be looking at this, you better get in the house. You know you don't, it's summertime. Not just summer, but winter, spring, summer, fall. You know when you're doing something you ain't got no business, you better make sure you get in the house, hit reset. In life, we need to hit the reset. But sometimes we don't have mom or grandmothers or fathers to tell us to get in the house. Sometimes we by ourselves and we're going about life and we know we're not going in the right direction we need to go. So the next time you feel like you big and bad, you grown, you can do whatever you want to. Y'all already know how I feel about that grown. Go check my previous video. I got a video about being grown. But sometimes you better tell yourself to get in the house. So that's my thought for today, y'all. Remember what your mom told you. Remember what Big Mama told you. Get in the house.